So this is my Lab Practical 3 lower limbs muscles, and this is the continued part 2 or the continued version. So the first muscles of the leg that I'm going to talk about is the posterior compartment, and it is consists of the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and the deep muscles of the posterior compartment of the leg. The first one is the gastrocnemius, and it is this muscle right here. Its origin is the medial and lateral condyles of the femur. So here is your medial, here is your lateral condyle. Its insertion is into the canealis, and that is pretty much the heel of your foot. So it's right in here. And again, you can see it right there. And its action is plantar flexus, so it moves the foot down. So like taking your toes and pushing or pointing your toes towards the ground. So the next muscle of the leg is the soleus, and it is this muscle right here. Comes in right there. And its origin is the membrane in between the tibia and fibula. So right in there. And its insertion again is the canealis, and it is right there. And its action again is plantar flexation of the foot, so taking the foot and pushing it down. So like taking your foot and pointing your toes towards the ground. So just taking your foot and bending it down. So the next muscles of the leg are the deep muscles of the posterior compartment, and you can see I've listed them all out, and the ones that they're underlined in certain colors which match up with the location of them on the diagram. So I've already labeled those, so I didn't have to spend time doing that throughout the video. The general location of these muscles is between the knee and the foot. So, I mean, obviously you can see your knee up here, foot down here. So, I mean, that's just the general location. Again, they're on the posterior side of the leg. These muscles insert into the foot, and they are the deep compartment muscles. So, they are the muscles deeper within the posterior side of the leg. And the action of these muscles is plantar flexation. So, again, taking that foot, moving it downwards, so like taking your foot and pushing it towards the ground, so your toes are towards the ground and your heel is up. They also act to inversion, so the inversion of the foot. So the best way to describe that is like taking your foot and moving it this way. This way. So your heel, or I mean not your heel, but your outside this part, the medial side of your foot is kind of towards the ground. So that's inversion. And the last muscle is the muscle of the foot, and it is the adductor hallucis, and it is this muscle right here. I kind of cover that up too much, but right there. Its origin is metatarsals 2 through 5. So these metatarsals are there, and the fibularis longus tendon, which I couldn't really find a picture of it, but it comes through kind of like there on the heel. And then the ligament that crosses the metatarsal phalangeal joint. So there is a ligament that crosses this joint right here. Those are all the insertion of the adductor hallucis. And then the insertion is the base of the proximal great toe on the lateral side. So right here on the great toe is the insertion. The action of this muscle is to maintain the arch, the transverse arch of the foot. So you can kind of see it in the model here, but it's that your foot arches, so that muscle works to maintain that. And then adductor of the great toe, so just kind of it's able to move the great toe towards the middle or the midline of your body. And that is the end of my lower limbs presentation.